Good morning. Happy foggy, soggy Monday. Not really that soggy, but it's not real dry out. We're gonna try and have a big tillage day today. See how much we can get done. Keep the disc moving. Keep the ripper moving. I did run it some yesterday. Didn't make a video on it, but we did do a live stream. So if you missed that, go check it out. It got a little spicy there in some of those comments, I guess I'll say. No, it was fine. We had a little more lively discussion than normal for a live stream. So anyway, my John Deere tech is on his way down here this morning. He's going to replace the starter and the air throttle on this 9R, which probably doesn't fix the tractor, but it gets us a step closer to fixing the tractor. So we're going to wait for him to get here to do that. I'm also going to try and finish spreading that fertilizer. So we got just a little pile of fertilizer across the road over there under that green tarp, and the spreader is full. We're going to get that spread out today and be done with it, and we'll see how far we can get. There's chances of rain tonight, tomorrow, so looks like we got one more good day here, and then we got to sit and wait again. In the meantime, this morning, it appears we hit a rock yesterday. Had to be right towards the end because I didn't notice that when we were in the field, and it wasn't. I mean, I was watching. So, but this one we broke a shear bolt in here. It's tripped. It's supposed to look like that. So we got to go find a bolt that fits in there, and we're gonna have to get a wrench. Probably loosen up either this one or both of them, and get that pushed back down and put a bolt back through there. All right, well, we got that loose. Now, I was going to look. I got some bolts, but I want to make sure that we got the right bolts. What do we got in here? That's a grade 5. Okay, we'll try that. Is this one long enough? No. It'll be that one. This part here, this part is no good. You hear this? There's something wrong in there. I kind of want to take it apart and see. All right, well, our tractor is good to go for now, or at least a couple of issues solved, and we'll see if we have more or not. Put a new starter on. I'll show you that when we get out there, and then that air throttle actuator that I just showed you. And there was definitely a weak spot or a bad spot in it compared to the new one. So hopefully that solves our issues, but I don't know how optimistic I am that that's going to be the case. So anyway, I'm going to grab a drink and we're going to hit the field and go do our 30 acres we got down the road, and then we'll come back and hopefully it'll be dried off on top enough we can spread some fertilizer. So you can tell when stuff has new parts because the new parts don't come with green paint on them. New starter, the air throttle, it's up under there. I don't think we can see it from up here. Oh yeah, it's right there. Hold on. Don't fall off. That shiny piece right there. Anyway, let's go run it. All right, well, this is our field that we're trying to get done here. And a rock and a rolling basket. Trying to work it out. Anyway, before I even made it to the field, there it went. It started to do a regen. And then about 500 feet into putting the ripper in the ground, my code came back. So the good news is the tech is still very close, and he's going to come back over and hook the laptop up and see what we can figure out on this. I figured that was going to be the case, but until it calls for a regen and throws the code, there's not much you can do to diagnose it. So now that it's active, he can come back and hopefully we can figure out what the next thing is. Okay, we have some good news, some bad news. The good news is the tractor completed an active regen all by itself, and we're back running normal. The tech didn't really do anything to adjust that. He did sit here and watch the readings with his laptop, and was able to determine that some of the values were off. I don't really know how to explain it. He's going to go try and... So essentially what's happening is as soon as it calls for an active regen, it's throwing an exhaust pressure differential code. But then that differential seems to go away after it's into its regen, and it finishes and everything works just fine, but it's in a power derate condition until that's done. And so as soon as it finishes its active regen, you just restart the tractor, shut it off, turn it back on, and the derate condition is gone, so it gives us full power, and the cycle repeats itself. The problem is, unless they're here with the laptop hooked up recording the data, as soon as a regen starts, it's pretty difficult to know what's causing that or what exactly the problem might be. At least that's what it sounds like. And so he's going to try and see if he can set up a remote trigger to start recording or something remotely, because this is all hooked up to the John Deere Ops Center, their JD Link system, where they can see the values. Or I don't know what all they can see from their shop, but they can see some of that stuff, or at least set it to record things so they can come back and look at it. But anyway, it's a step in the right direction. We don't have it fixed yet, but we're at least no more than we did an hour ago, and we should be good to run for today. So this field that we are in here is one of those with the big muck pocket, and you can see it right in front of us. You see this hill we're about to go down, drops off into some nice flat, low black dirt back there. I'll show you when we get to the other end of the field where it's a lot more brown, lighter colored dirt. But we don't want to dig this super deep. We just want to bury the residue, and so we have different settings in our true set. And I have one that's specifically called muck. I want you guys to watch the tool as we drop off this ridge, and I push the button right now, how it changes all of the different components in relation to one another. So what we did was we left the discs at the same depth, about 2 inches, but we pulled the ripper points from 9 all the way up to 4. So we lifted the ripper points up 5 inches, and we left the closing baskets and the discs in about the same spot. Now we got one that's plugged up, but we're trying not to fluff up this black dirt and make it too fluffy, for us next spring, where we can bury equipment and stuff in it, and it can make it a real problem. So now we're climbing back up out of it, and we're going to go back to our normal settings right there. You can see it lifts the disc blades and sets the ripper down, just kind of the opposite of what we had done before. But just how you got to treat different dirt soil types different. And it's still black right here, but it's higher. It's got more clay in it. It's not as light and fluffy as the low ground there. That's what we really worry about. This would be the perfect situation for me to actually write a tillage script and to have it automatically adjust when we go into there. And that would be done by soil types, because we have soil maps that show us where that muck ground is versus the other stuff, and I could set it to automatically adjust the depths in those spots. Never actually messed with that. Maybe something I should do. Certainly are capable of doing it with this tool, but I have the preset buttons on the display there that we can just change them. But can you see we just climbed up the back ridge here, and how much different the soil color is right there? Yeah, it changes rapidly. The back half of this farm, or back 2/3 of it really, is totally different soil types than the front stuff is there. And it makes it a bit of a challenge to farm, because this is pretty tough ground. That stuff can be really productive, especially in corn. But they kind of need to be treated very differently, which is where our variable rate fertilizer and variable rates, seeding rates and stuff all come into play and are pretty important for us. It's wetter than it has been, but we're still very dry. There's a spot there that we farmed around for a while that's got cattails and stuff growing in it, and we just went right through it. No trouble whatsoever. We'll see if running the ripper through there, even a little bit shallow, helps break some compaction or something, and allows the water to soak in a little bit better in the future. Maybe we'll actually get a crop. We used to farm through that hole, and then the last 3 or 4 years we haven't been able to, so I don't know what's changed, but it's dry enough now to get through it. That's the thing. We've gotten some rain in the last week or 2 weeks here, I guess, and there's more coming tonight and tomorrow or the rest of the week. So the top inch or 2 inches is a little bit sticky and greasy and gooey, and it's a little wet, but you get down below that and we're still pretty dry. That's why this ground is breaking up really nice. We're getting good fracturing with the ripper here. It's bringing that drier dirt up from underneath, and still doing a really good job. It's by no means too wet to be out here. We just had to let it dry up the top inch or two so that we could have some traction and be able to actually pull the ripper and not just sit there and spin our tires on the top inch of wet stuff. So anyway, it's working. Working our way across here. Still working through this center muck hole and running it shallower when we're in there, but we're almost over to the corn stalks over here. Those are our corn stalks next to us. So now we're getting there, maybe 10 acres or so to go in this field, 10, 12, something like that. Get the wedge. Just like that. So we're getting there. Well, there's another hole that we haven't farmed through in a long time that I was able to rip through. No guarantees it'll get planted next spring, but it got ripped this fall, so that's good. It was hard too. Water, when it sits on the ground, is very heavy, as it turns out, and so it compacts areas. Getting the ripper through those areas where water ponds is usually it's a tough pull. Anyway, we got this one pass left up the side here, a couple passes on some front end rows, and then we're going to get out of here. We got some potash to spread. So we'll go do that. Dad might jump in the river for a while here this afternoon while we are spreading fertilizer. So that'll be good. Look at that beautiful black dirt. Oh man. We don't have a lot of it. It's not actually as productive as you would think. It's not the same as the nice Illinois and Iowa black dirt. It's muck. It's different. It's hard to explain, but it's fun having something. Well, Dad's got the tractor out ready for me to go. He must be a little bit of a hurry. That's okay. We'll go. We're going to spread some in this wheat stubble across the road. We got to do yet. Finish loading up our pile. And then he can start chiseling and we'll go spread it out on some corn stalks. A couple other fields we got to do. You can tell the top of that potash has got a little crust on it. It definitely soaked up some humidity out of the air. It's a salt, so it will do that, but pouring out of our off a belt just fine, spreading good. Got the front half of this field we're about done with, and the back half is what we tiled, so we'll have to kind of go across the rows, but between the tile lines to spread that instead of bouncing over them. So there we go. There's our map. So got 18,000 pounds left. I don't know if we got enough out that we can fit all the rest of it in there or not, but we're gonna go try. So it was interesting in this kind of stuff that's already been worked and is still moist on top, damp, it's dark. You can really see where we spread and kind of the spread pattern out here. This area got spread at a rate of 275 pounds per acre of potash. And if I come out here and look, you can definitely see all of the little pink granules, red and pink granules, and what that looks like. Ooh, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see. Usually they blend in enough and there's enough residue that you can't really see it at all, but here we can. And here's the tire tracks, the center, they're all there. Cool. All right, let's go load her up and get out of here. Oh, and their Dad's already out. Cool. The goal is to get this field done today. If we can get this one today before it starts raining, we'll be feeling pretty good. This is the last of the wheat stubble, I guess in this case. The bean stubble is all done, the wheat stubble, this is the last field that needs to get done. We do have one field of corn stalks yet that we would like to get the ripper across here at Waldron. And then we've got to go to Berkey and do the 280 acres of wheat / double crop bean stubble there. But that's going to have to wait until the next opportunity because we aren't going to get it done before it rains. There's not very much there. It might fit. Well, the spreader's full. I got a bucket load left there if I can scoop it up. It's got a lot of lime in it. That's no big deal. I'm not worried about the lime. I'd like to get most of the potash cleaned up though. It's not perfect. Good enough. I dumped it on top for good measure. We've got potash is a little lighter, so maybe we're not overloaded, but it's as full as I've ever had it with potash. I know that. All right, I'm gonna park this somewhere, not in the field. take our spreader and spread it out. We've got a field of corn stalks to do, and then we're going to be up by the irrigated field, so we'll just spread out any excess that we have on that irrigated stuff, kind of light where we need it, where we push and stuff. Won't be a lot extra, so we'll work out pretty close. Ha! Well, it wasn't supposed to rain for a while. We're getting some sprinkles now, though. Oh well, let's see if we can get this spread out. Well, we're getting our spreader used up. We're maybe half of it gone here, and spreading it out on some corn stalks. Used up. It keeps raining though. It's really misty on the front windshield. I don't have it on the other ones, and I don't think our fertilizer is getting too wet. It's not. I mean, like even the fender here is not wet. It's just like the air is super thick and humid and misty, and we're driving into it. It's not really raining down on us, but I would like to get this done and have this fertilizer gone so that we can get the spreader cleaned up and put away and not have to worry about this anymore. Well, I am feeling rather rained out. I finished the fields up there that I needed to do. We've got about 10,000 pounds left in the spreader, and I've got a field that I was intending to go to, but it's raining fairly decent. Dad, however, he's still out there. I don't know. Can't imagine he's gonna be able to go real long. I don't know if we've gotten a lot of rain, but it is definitely gotten everything wet. The road, it's pretty slippery. So we're gonna go pull this into the barn here, and I don't know, get much more done today. Well, I think Dad's still moving over there. I think those lights are on our side. I'm not sure. He's over there. Anyway, I tried calling him to see if he wanted me to come and run it, and he didn't answer his phone, so I guess I'm going to go home. It's raining pretty good now. He ain't going to go very long if it is still working okay, I wouldn't think. Although the wheat stubble and clover sod is, it's going to stay, it's not going to get slippery and muddy like the bean stubble and the rest of the ground would. However, he's got all those tile lines back there where we just spread that fertilizer. Like, those got to be sticky as heck. He must be going around that. Oh well. I thought we were going to get all day today and get that done. Didn't happen. It's all right. We did pretty good. We got a bunch done. So, looks like you're going to be rained out most of the rest of the week. So, we're going to start working on some other stuff. We might start cleaning up some equipment. I got some work to do down in the seed warehouse. We got other things going on. I might try and get a power washer down to Berkey here soon. I don't know, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. And I still got seed business stuff to keep working on as we get time. So, thanks for watching today. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we will see you tomorrow.